Here is a summary of the 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene, along with an example for each strategy. 1. The polarity strategy. Divide and conquer. Example: a leader instigates conflicts between rival factions within an opposing army to weaken its overall strength. 2. The guile and deception strategy. Feign madness. Example: during a negotiation, a diplomat deliberately acts unpredictable and irrational to confuse the other party and gain an advantage. 3. The death ground strategy. Fight to the end. Example: facing an overwhelming enemy force, a general decides to fight fiercely because retreat would mean certain annihilation. 4. The guile and deception strategy. Create a false sense of security. Example: a military commander intentionally leaks misleading information about troop movements to lull the enemy into complacency. 5. The tactical retreat strategy. Trade space for time. Example: a smaller army strategically withdraws, drawing the larger enemy force deeper into hostile territory to exhaust them. 6. The enveloping strategy. Encircle your enemy. Example: a commander splits their forces and surrounds the enemy from multiple sides, cutting off their escape routes. 7. The annihilation strategy. Destroy your enemy completely. Example: a nation launches a massive surprise attack, aiming to completely annihilate an enemy's military capabilities. 8. The strategic withdrawal strategy. Know when to leave. Example: a business leader recognizes the declining market conditions and decides to exit a failing industry before sustaining heavy losses. 9. The defensive warfare strategy. Take a strong defensive position. Example: in a siege, a general fortifies a city and uses its natural defenses to withstand the enemy's attacks. 10. The double-edged strategy. Create a desirable option. Example: during a negotiation, a negotiator presents an offer that seems advantageous to the other party but also benefits their own interests. 11. The chain reaction strategy. Set traps for your enemies. Example: a military commander anticipates the enemy's movements and lays traps, causing their forces to fall into disarray. 12. The decoy strategy. Distract and divide. Example: a leader creates a diversion to divert the attention of their opponents, allowing them to execute their main objective covertly. 13. The stratagem strategy. Master the art of timing. Example: a general waits for the perfect moment to launch an attack, catching the enemy off guard and maximizing their chances of success. 14. The psychological warfare strategy. Undermine your enemy's morale. Example: a military force broadcasts propaganda messages to demoralize the enemy and weaken their will to fight. 15. The chain reaction strategy. Exploit the power of momentum. Example: a social movement gains traction by harnessing the momentum generated by initial successes and attracts more supporters. 16. The simulated madness strategy. Create an air of unpredictability. Example: a leader intentionally cultivates a reputation for eccentric behavior to make their opponents uncertain and hesitant. 17. The stratagem strategy. Control the narrative. Example: a politician skillfully shapes public opinion through carefully crafted speeches and media appearances. 18. The bait and switch strategy. Mislead and redirect. Example: a business entices customers with an attractive offer but then redirects their attention to more profitable alternatives. 19. The stratagem strategy. Exploit the power of surprise. Example: a military commander launches a surprise attack during adverse weather conditions, catching the enemy off guard. 20. The chaos strategy. Exploit disorder and confusion. Example: in the midst of a crisis, a leader manipulates the chaos to consolidate their power and implement their agenda. 21. The stratagem strategy. Say. Eyes the initiative. Example: a visionary entrepreneur proactively identifies emerging trends and quickly adapts their business to capitalize on them. 22. The flanking strategy. Attack from an unexpected angle. Example: A sports team employs an unexpected play or strategy that catches the opposing team off guard and results in a successful goal. 23. The stratagem strategy. Control the source of information. Example, a media mogul acquires multiple news outlets, allowing them to shape public opinion by controlling the narrative. 24. The counterbalance strategy. Exploit your opponent's weaknesses. Example, a chess player consistently targets and exploits their opponent's vulnerable pieces to gain an advantage. 25. The fragmentation strategy. Divide and conquer within. Example, a manager subtly pits team members against each other, creating internal conflicts that distract and weaken the team's overall performance. 26. The stratagem strategy. Maintain a constant presence. Example, a business builds a strong brand presence through consistent marketing efforts, ensuring it stays in the minds of potential customers. 27. The enveloping strategy. Isolate and attack. Example, in a political campaign, a candidate isolates their main opponent by forming alliances with smaller parties, weakening their support base. 28. The stratagem strategy. Exploit the power of misdirection. Example, a magician uses sleight of hand and misdirection to divert the audience's attention from their actual method. 29. The decoy strategy. Sacrifice something to gain advantage. Example, a negotiator offers a concession on a less important issue to secure a favorable outcome on a more critical matter. 30. The counterbalance strategy. Turn strengths into weaknesses. Example, a guerrilla force avoids direct confrontation with a powerful army and instead uses hit-and-run tactics to exploit the enemy's size and lack of mobility. 31. The stratagem strategy. Adapt and evolve. Example, a technology company constantly innovates and adapts its products to stay ahead of the competition in a rapidly changing market. 32. The preemptive strike strategy. Attack before your enemy is ready. Example, a nation launches a preemptive strike on a neighboring country's nuclear facilities to prevent them from developing weapons of mass destruction. 33. The final strategy. Learn from the past to shape the future. Example, an organization studies historical failures and successes to inform their decision-making and strategy development, ensuring future success. Please note that these examples are fictional and provided to illustrate the concepts outlined in the book.